Hey, what's up YouTube? Have you ever had the urge to run the most amount of dumb AI pets as possible? Are you adventuring Tamriel alone and wish you had friends? Have you ever thought of trolling and being able to actually perform your DPS role? Want to see the definition of a clusterfuck? If yes was your answer to any of the questions, or just curious to see what's in store, I have the perfect build for you. This build is called the 6-Pet Magsorc. As a disclaimer, this build is made for funsies and thus is not intended for endgame content, as this build causes major visual clutter issues. Furthermore, this build may cause lag and visual fuckery and thus is not recommended for hard content or trials. Now that we got that out of the way, this build is very console and new player friendly with no mythics or trial gear. On the parse dummy with daggers, I was pushing 93k and 87k with a staff. The numbers probably could have been higher, but I am not the best Magsorc. To start off this build, I have 64 points into Magicka, and I'm running the Thief Mundus. So for this build, I am a High Elf Sorcerer. Sorcerer is necessary to have the inherent 3 pets, which comes from the Volatile Familiar, Twilight Matriarch, and Storm Matronach. As far as race is concerned, I believe High Elf is one of the best choices for this build. Other options include Khajiit, Dark Elf, and other classes that benefit from the Magicka passives. So in terms of CP for the blue tree, I'm running Fighting Finesse, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, Backstabber. For the red tree, I'm running Boundless Vitality, Sustained by Suffering, Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation. For consumables, the best choice would be Clockwork Citrus Fillet. Second choice would be Witch Mother's Potent Brew. And for parsing, and if you need more sustain, Ghastly Eyeball is your go-to. For potions, I'm running Essence of Spell Power, which give you access to Major Sorcery, Prophecy, and Intellect. Now for the sets, for the main hand, I'm running Defiler's Daggers, Nirnhoned with a poison damage enchant. Offhand's going to be Defiler Daggers as well, with a flame damage enchant. My back bar is going to be a Maelstrom Inferno Staff, perfected or not, it doesn't make that big of a difference. The monster set's going to be Maw of the Inferno. I'm running one piece in medium, and the body is going to be Morkolden, which is a crafted set. This is going to be one of the pets. All pieces of Morkolden are light and in divines. And for the jewelry, I'm running Defiler's Jewelry. All 3 with spell damage enchants and traded in Bloodthirsty. So for skills, I'm running Daedric Prey, Crystal Fragments, Mage's Wrath, Volatile, and Twilight Tormentor, Dawnbreaker on the front bar, and Barbed Trap, Unstable Wall of Fire, Hurricane, Volatile Familiar, Twilight Tormentor, and Greater Storm Matronach. So the rotation I used for the parse and for content is I start off with a Blockade, Daedric Curse, Trap Beast, Volatile Familiar, and Frag Spam when I have nothing better to cast. The Greater Atronach is the ultimate I use, and it's dropped in replacement of a Frag Spam. And in the case of a more simple rotation, you can start off with just a Blockade and either Trap or Hurricane, and then Curse right after and Frag Spam until your Blockade expires. So for the pre-buff, you want to start off with a Potion, Twilight Tormentor, Hurricane, Volatile Familiar, drop your Greater Storm Matronach, go up to the dummy, throw down your Trap, and start off with a Blockade. For my specific parse, I dropped Trap and instead I casted Channeled right after I popped a potion, but that's the only difference. I think everything else was the same. So just some ending notes. I chose Morkolden for the body because I couldn't find a light set that worked, because I knew I wanted to run Defiler and I couldn't run Defiler body because that was medium armor. And another issue I ran into was I also wanted to run a mythic, but a monster helm would have added another pet, so I chose to run Maul. In all honesty, I wanted to run Shadowrend, but I don't have the helmets and I couldn't be bothered to farm them. On second thought though, Maul looks way better than Shadowrend, so I feel like the more damage and the bigger, badder Daedra probably looks way better than a Clan Fear. Well, that concludes my build for the 6-Pet Sorc. Please don't forget to comment below any questions you may have, and I'll try my best to get back to you when possible. Liking and subscribing would really help out the channel as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, there's a parse right after this. Thank you again.